last night. And it kind of, or yesterday, it kind of shocked people. And this is one of the graphs that I try to keep an eye on because it shows me what really the non-Bitcoin and Ethereum market is doing. So just raise your hand if you can see this chart here on the screen. Yeah, and so what this is this is the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the stable coins. And you can see what happened is it was really approaching this mark here, you know, a couple of days ago, looking like it was even going to go up to like $1 trillion in non-Bitcoin, not Ethereum stuff. And then all of a sudden, it went from about 880 billion all the way down. It really went below 800 billion. So basically, $80 billion was lost in a lot of our favorite coins that we know and love. And that could be Cardano, that could be Dogecoin, that could mean Story Protocol, which we're now up 42x on as a protocol. That could be Mochaverse, one of our other big wins. And so what happened is the altcoin market just took a little bit of a hit, and altcoin season took a day or two off before it's now coming back with a vengeance. And you can see it's gone really from about this level of, you know, about 800 down, it's already rallying back. So we saw this big move down here over the course of a night, and then we saw it really come right back. We believe that this is probably going to come up here and break this kind of $1 trillion mark when it comes to the value of all of those tokens. And that's what alt season is going to do. And a lot of you know, I look at this metric here called the altcoin season index. This is really important if you're in crypto. Now you can see this graph here. Now, a lot of you say, Brian, I don't know what you're talking about. It's really simple. If you take the top 100 coins out there over the last 90 days, and you pick which ones outperform Bitcoin and which ones underperform Bitcoin, well, right now, 70 of those coins have outperformed Bitcoin. So you see some real big winners up here, like Aster, which is a DEX on Binance, MYX. You see IP, that's ours, Martini. That's our token here, which is the 4th best performing token out there. Martini put some money in this thing a couple of years ago, as did I. There's a guy in our group named Jose. He put $50,000 on his deal. That one investment of $50,000 is now worth over $2 million. Now, you know, when Jose comes to our events around the world, he always brings his 3 sons with him. So I guess he's got to split that amongst the family, right, Martini? So that's $500,000 each. But it just goes to show you how much money can be made in these tokens. But look, as we go down the list here, you see tons of tokens that have outperformed Bitcoin. And then you see Bitcoin here in orange. And so there's 30 tokens below it. Some are actually down on the 90-day period. Most are up. And this is the altcoin season index. You can see here, when this gets above 75, we consider it altcoin season. When it's below 25, basically Bitcoin's outperforming everything, and you better just own Bitcoin. Right now, owning Bitcoin is the stupidest thing you can do because we expect most of these coins to outperform it. Now, when we get into a bear market, which we're expecting next year, then you want to be in Bitcoin or in stable coins, or heck, maybe you just want to stick your money under your mattress at that point. But right now you want to be in these higher risk coins because they can get crazy returns. I mean, our token Story is up 300% in 3 months. That's insane. You know, that's insane. I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. I've never seen an asset move like a crypto asset. So we're watching this. The altcoin index went all the way down to 63. It's back up to 70. I actually believe it's going to be back at over 75 by the end of the week. And I think we'll be back on our journey. But welcome to crypto, folks. It's a volatile market. And so the market's freaking out, $200 billion loss. I get it. The truth is, it's usually the kids on Twitter that are panicking and selling. Nobody in our investment club panics and sells. We got 150 people. We've been investing for almost 5 years. We've invested over $20 million. We're making boatloads of cash behind the scenes. We don't panic like a bunch of punks do out there. Plus, we all know each other. We talk to each other. Now, look, if you're in a basement somewhere, you know, in the dark, and you're following all the news on crypto, then yeah, you probably panic sell. If none of your friends like crypto and they tell you you're crazy for the 400th time, then yeah, you probably sell your crypto. But we know what we're doing on the inside. And we don't have what they call paper hands. That means you sell whenever you get a little scared. Like we don't do that. We know where we're going. We got a 10-year plan. And the plan is that everyone's going to be filthy rich in 10 years. So that's what we're doing. Great to see a bunch of our members here. Shout out to Steve Rice on our current DA program. Shout out to Doreen on our current DA program as well. And if your name is Zoom attendee Either your mama didn't love you, or you need to go into the Zoom software and put your name up there. John Connolly figured it out. I think there's a 3 dots there, but if you could tell us your name, we would really appreciate it. I use my real name. We like real names here. Unlike in most of crypto, people use fake names, but we use real names. So last chance to turn cameras on, and let's jump into it, folks, because this sell-off freaked a lot of people out. And I just want to talk about it and make sure that we can get our head around it. Hands up if you can see this on screen. So again, what we're looking at here is a sudden $200 billion crypto sell-off. And again, it sparks these fresh Bitcoin price crash fears. People were saying this could mean when Bitcoin goes to 90,000 and 80,000. I don't buy it. It's already back up to 13. And I feel like it stays strong here. We just had a Fed rate cut, but we're going to talk about this shortly. Look, before we get started, I want to say this presentation is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. Also, I'd like to give you this free gift to start, and that is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. This is where we're making all of our money behind the scenes. This is a 19-page document. It's going to show you how startups raise money on the blockchain. If you are watching this later or on live stream now, you can go to londonreal.tv/download. But for all the beautiful souls that decided to join us at londonreal.tv/Zoom, I'm actually going to send you this module. And if everybody could just hit reply and let me know if you got this. And by the way, thank you all for putting some of your names up there. I appreciate that. It would be pretty cool if your mom called you Zoom attendee. You know, she would have been very thinking ahead of the game there. But I'm going to send you this module. Check your chat now on Zoom and just reply yes if you receive that. So Jackie, did you get that? Jackie's all over. Jackie's the first one to do it. And she you know your Zoom, don't you, Jackie? And Michael Jones, thanks for putting your name there as well. And Jareen, I like that picture, but I like your face better. So definitely show us your beautiful face there. Thank you, Michael Jones. I appreciate that. So read that when your spare time. Don't do it now if you can't pay attention to this, but that is some really good information that'll show you how we're making all of our money behind the scenes. I also want to give you a free video, and I'm going to give you the link to this video at the end of the presentation. So just stay till the end, and it's going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. I will explain what that is shortly, but it's going to show you how we use these special legal documents called SAFs and safes to make a lot of money. What is a pre-sale token, Brian? What are you talking about? I've never heard of these. And that's the crazy thing. We are the only people that is teaching this and the only people giving you access to the hottest deals on the planet. A pre-sale token is what we do. We secretly buy tokens from CEOs of blockchain companies before anybody in the public gets access to them. Then a week later, a month later, 2 months later, they go live on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance. Then millions of people go scrambling for those tokens, and many, many times those token prices go up. Has anyone ever heard of an IPO before? John, you heard of that before? Michael, you heard of that? An IPO is an initial public offering, and it's what happens when the very first time you can buy a share of stock. Facebook did one about 10 years ago, and the price went up crazy during the day because it was the first time people could buy some. We do the same thing with tokens, and that's how we're making all of our money behind the scenes. By the way, folks, this is a token called Solana. How many people have heard of this? It's called Solana. Jackie, you probably know. Michael, John knows Solana. That's good. Well, did you know you could have bought this as a pre-sale token for pennies on the dollar? I bet a lot of you didn't. You could have bought this for 4 pennies each. Right now, it's trading about $230 each. If you would put $1,000 on this pre-sale token deal, like we do every week behind the scenes, that one investment of $1,000 would be worth over $5 million. Think about that. $5 million from one deal with a very tiny amount invested. Now, who here could use an extra $5 million? Anybody here? Jackie's like, no, Brian, keep your money. Michael's like, no, I don't need another Bugatti in the driveway, Brian. Okay, that's fine. Well, maybe you give it away, Michael. Maybe maybe you put it aside to something else. But the truth is that $5 million, it could really help you in your life, and it could help you maybe just get a little bit of breathing room to figure out what you really want to do. And that's why we like these deals. Folks, this is a pre-sale token deal we did just a few months ago, and this is the legal document, the SAFT agreement that I signed right here. Can everyone see that blue circle on the screen there? That's the amount we invested. That's our typical investment amount of $200,000. Can everyone see this red circle here? That's the price we paid per token. Now, John, that's not $1.25. That's 1.25 pennies. So we got these cheaper than we actually got them. And then you could have bought Solana tokens. We got them cheaper. Now, what happens? Well, in about 4 hours, we made $4 million as the company called Skillful AI, which is AI on the blockchain, went public on an exchange with their token. We were up 20x at the launch. And of course, Zoltan here, the CEO, came by and had an episode on London Real, because that's what we also give away when we invest in companies. After the show, Zoltan said, Brian, this is going to 100x. That's soon going to be worth $20 million. I said, great. And then he shocked me, totally shocked me, Jackie. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I want access to your deals. I said, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. You know, you're a bigwig when it comes to crypto. You're on all the stages at all the crypto conferences. I said, surely you see better deal flow than I do. He said, no, you have a massive media company with 1 billion views and 5 million subscribers. He said, you get better deals than I do. You get cheaper tokens, and you get the tokens faster than I do. I want in. And I said, okay, well, there's one way to join. You got to book a call with Martini. I'll give you her number, but I'll tell you one thing. She doesn't do discounts, so don't even try. Don't even try. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he joined the club. And so I find this to be one of the greatest testimonials we've ever had. Not only does our London Real family, 150 people so far, kind of join this club, but one of our portfolio company CEOs also joined, and he's on the Zoom calls with you on a Monday or a Thursday. Is that pretty cool? Is everyone kind of like that? So you've got a real dude in the trenches alongside of you and all the rest of our London Real family, and we really like it that way. Folks, this is another deal we did called Shrapnel. This is actually a video game on the blockchain. And on that deal, we did a 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. Then we did the Mochaverse. This thing was up 20x on the launch. And this is the digital ID system of a massive conglomerate called Animoca Brands. And I was actually on the phone today with one of their guys in Hong Kong. And they're doing some really exciting things that should pump the value of our tokens even higher. I'm going to see them all next week in Singapore, as well as this gentleman here, who is Yatsu, the chairman of Animoca Brands. He really is the next Elon Musk, in my opinion, a very wise man. He's been on the show about 7 times, and we've done a lot of deals with him. And this is another one of our big wins. Folks, this is the big one of the day. It's called Story Protocol, and this is up 42x for my members. So far, we've made a $21 million profit for them. And this was the first deal we did with a large venture capital company called Andreessen Horowitz. And this is the biggest VC in the world. And I still remember this, Martini, back in 23 when they pitched us. This guy, Sai, came on, who's actually in Korea this whole week, signing up everybody in Korea for this protocol. All the filmmakers, because Korean filmmaking is like the big deal now, right? With these movies like Parasite. He's signing up all the K-pop bands. He's signing everybody on this protocol. He's dropping stuff like literally his Twitter is like a crazy feed. And we knew, first of all, Sai has an amazing vision of the future. The intellectual property market is an $80 trillion market. And they're building a blockchain for intellectual property. And with AI coming up, it's very hard to protect your IP. And the story token is just going up and up and up and up and up. And I just don't know when it's going to stop, to be honest. And so that's why one of our members, Jose, invested $50,000, and that one investment's worth over $2 million. This is something you can do too, but you have to be willing to join this club. You probably got to go into some of your fears. You probably got to take a risk, but on the other side of your risks, as I always say, is everything you've ever dreamed of. Folks, this is the first meme coin we did. It was called Cats. It was up 14x on launch. And one of our members, Christina, put in $30,000 on this deal with her mom, woke up to a $420,000 profit. Not bad for a Wednesday morning. And of course, this is our $1 billion fund called 1RT. We've already done a 4X on this fund. Honestly, if we had done a 20%, it would have been massive. But Dan Tapiero, the trader in this fund, pictured with me here, came back and gave us 4 times on our money. And he's actually not finished yet. We got incredible access to this deal. Martini's in this deal. Martini's in Story Protocol as well. And he's going to be back on the investment club call October 9th to tell us how much money we made and also to tell us about how we can invest in his next fund called 50T Holdings. The minimum investment for an average investor is $10 million to get into his fund, but we can get you in for much, much less because of the relationship we had with Dan. And so we'll be talking about that opportunity on October 9th. Definitely put that in your calendar. Folks, now I want to share with you some of our latest deals. And these are literally the deals we're investing in. What you're going to see here is not only the deals, but you're going to see the format on how we get pitched these deals. Every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. UK time, you can attend a live session where CEOs come on and pitch their companies. It's pretty cool, actually. And I highly recommend you come, and you can literally see the format. Look, some of the terms might go over your head, but I guarantee you're going to learn very, very, very fast. And that's what we do. We all watch as a collective. If we get enough people that give the thumbs up, and you'll see it here, then we invest as a group. And that's the thing. We don't invest your money. We allow you to make a decision. And we love this deal called Synergetics. It's done by an